nanongurarawa Nigo sana kodoe na mataka Pauna numa nananda tonlasa Mai subana numa tikona Fanwarongo nano monivanua Kenata nilevu tunaua Lomango voli meu bau batuka Tovolea ke balavu nabula Sana kodoe na mataka
Hello, Scotty.
Oh, hello. I'm just going to do my usual trick while I'm watching the football at the same time.
Yeah, so am I. So am I.
Come on.
I got the volume down. Here comes Chris Johnson as well.
Well, I think there's only one who's not watching it, and that's me and Steve. Well, no, two actually, because Ray won't be watching it.
No, but Ray won't be watching.
Won't be watching what?
Oh, bloody hell,
The
Ray.
football.
Semi-final
football?
FA Cup.
The semi-final of what?
FA Cup.
Oh,
That's why you're not watching it.
yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't. If you asked me to describe to you what the FA Cup is, I actually wouldn't really know.
I got a feeling
It's a
Chris
big
Johnson
soccer.
hasn't got ESPN Plus neither. Are you watching it, Chris?
Years ago, the Queen used to
No.
present it to the winning team.
No,
Oh,
but
okay.
I did watch Tottenham getting thrashed
Yeah.
by
Oh,
Newcastle.
that was great.
Unbelievable.
Are you too cheap to get ESPN Plus, Chris?
I'm too cheap. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have enough. I've got
Yeah, I know.
Peacock over here where I get the rest of the
Yeah.
Premier League games as well as USA.
You can always watch the snooker, Fruity.
Sorry?
You can always watch the snooker.
Well, I do watch that occasionally, yeah. Yeah. As long as they don't blow shit all over the table.
Okay, let me start renaming people. Chris Johnson.
Where's my cousin Bobo? Where's the other Johnston?
He's in Cardiff. He may not be able to. He's moving today, or he's going today. Yeah.
Okay.
No, he sent me a note. He might be in tonight. No, he's there.
Oh, it's going to penalties, Pete.
Yeah, I know.
Who's got the best? Who's got the best goalkeeper?
Well, it's going to be De Gea's going to end up the hero after last Wednesday, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who's actually playing?
Man United and Brighton.
Oh, Brighton. I've never thought of them as being a big football club, I guess.
So it's going to
Man
penalties,
United.
huh?
Yeah, the penalties right now. Yeah.
Wow. What was the score? What was the final score?
0-0. 0-0.
Oh, 0-0. Okay.
I can let you watch it if you want, but then no, I can't be bothered turning it around.
That would be really cheap for me to watch your TV.
Why have I disappeared, Colonel?
Good point. I don't control video, so you must have pressed something.
No, I haven't touched it. Oh, well,
All right.
I've got... Never mind. I'll go out and come back again.
All right. Who's this Eddie coming in?
Don't know. No idea.
Oh yeah, Eddie. We had him the other week, didn't we? He's a Scotsman. There's Eddie.
Oh yeah.
Hi, hello,
Yeah.
sorry.
Is
Sorry,
Hi
my
guys.
Is that we?
Eddie.
Is that we, Eddie?
It is. Is that exactly?
Eddie, how are you
really?
doing?
Ah, good.
I heard you were back on. I've got to apologise to everybody because I haven't been on for well over a month. It's personal circumstances prevented me from getting on. But I was great. It was great to hear that you were still around and on the call.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
The last time I seen you was when I was on the Canberra. We were in St Martin. You were on one of the Princess ships. You were bar manager. It was a boat
All
prom.
right, yeah.
See you. That's the last time I spoke to you. That was probably about 88, 89 maybe.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Yeah, I was in St. Martin with another ship, the Canberra, and I ran into a few people that I knew ashore somewhere. I don't remember, in one of the bars or something like that. But yeah. And then I remember you, because I don't remember exactly when you were on the Sun Princess, but you were on the Sun Princess for a couple of contracts at least, somewhere between 78 and 84.
Yeah, I was 83, I think it was, wasn't it? 83.
Was it 83? Yeah.
The Royal came out. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I left in 84, and I was back shoreside for about a year and a half, and then I came back in 86 on the Royal. Yeah.
Hey, Eddie,
so a lot of
I want
people
to
had left him.
Eddie, I want to explain who I am. I'm the oddball out here. I'm not a P&O or Princess guy, but I worked as a photographer on the Oriana 73 to 77, and then the Sun Princess 78 to 80. So I know most of these guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. So you were there before me, but that's good.
I've got the football on for you, Chris. I'm breaking the
Oh,
law.
thank you.
I'm breaking the law by doing this. Don't, as long as you don't tell them.
I won't tell anyone.
I thought you had an entertainment license to show it to anybody, Colonel.
Ray, shall we just go out of this for a while?
What's that?
Shall we just go out of this for a while?
Go out of
It's only
what?
going to last five minutes.
Watching the penalties.
Oh.
This beauty.
Oh, it's a penalty. Oh, yeah, you want to focus on the penalty. Sure.
Well, this has got to be a first, Colonel, right? For you to include your TV on the crew bar.
Can my co-host let people in, please?
No, I'm doing it. Fuck off. Watch the penalties.
Right up first, huh?
Is this a knockout where they have to keep shooting penalties until somebody scores?
Evening, Bobo. I'm afraid the Colonel's busy because he's watching penalties.
What's he watching?
Penalties.
Oh,
you know that silly game where they kick a ball around?
Oh, the round ball.
Yeah, the round ball.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, he got a goal. He got a goal.
I don't know. I don't understand what he's doing.
That's Brighton. That's Brighton who's got the goal. Got this penalty.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Is that good
they
or
keep
is that
going.
bad?
And someone misses, I think.
Well, it's good if you're Brighton and Hove Albion supporter, but not if you're a Man United supporter.
Yeah, but hasn't
Man United got one.
Here comes Hilda.
Hasn't Man United won the FA Cup enough times already? I've never heard of Brighton being a football.
They were in the final once many years ago. But it's not fair with the Colonel having that on there because he's seeing what
Man United's missed. Yet. Man United's missed.
When?
That
Are you
penalty.
ahead?
That penalty. Stevie Walker will be despondent. Good evening. Good evening, Hilda.
Good evening.
Sorry, we're sort of all over the place because the Colonel's watching the penalties of some silly round ball game. And it's not one of the ones. It's not one of the ones we would have played there.
Can you not blank him out?
First snooker because there's more balls in it.
No, he put it on for me, John, and my benefit, so I'm to blame too.
Yeah, John, it was probably rounders or netball.
No football.
Is that who scored that? Was that Brighton or?
That's Brighton, yeah.
Man. So Brighton has scored 2 now.
Yep.
Oh, right on.
Dave
It
already
kills
said that
conversation,
Man
this
United
time.
missed, so he must be ahead of this.
They didn't miss.
Oh, it didn't
That's
miss.
what,
They didn't miss.
It was too all, Chris.
It was Footy making the commentary. They didn't miss.
Come on then,
Thought his
John. What's
team-
the score? What's the score in penalties then?
2 all.
Not much pressure.
you too.
Of course, your feed may be ahead of mine, so you may know more than I do.
We're a bit behind yours, John.
Oh,
Has Steve gone to the game? Do we know?
No, he's down the pub.
He's down the pub, is he?
Oh,
probably a big crowd down there.
be in the right place to drown his sorrows if it all goes wrong.
Yeah.
Ooh, almost.
Save it.
I see your text, Bobo,
Yes,
Saying-
He's go-
saying when you joined the Canberra.
yeah. I joined the Canberra this week. Well, I would have been midstream on my very first cruise,
1974.
1974. I joined on the 18th, so it's now the 23rd, and it was a 14-day cruise out of Southampton, coming back to Southampton. I think the ports it was Madeira, Lanzarote, and somewhere else I forget. But it was 14
Bobo.
days.
Bobo, what were the dates?
The 18th of April, I joined it in Southampton, Canberra, and she came back 2 weeks later. It was a 14-day cruise, Medi cruise.
Well, I've got a surprise for you there because I joined in the same day.
Well, I tell you what, I'm just looking at my discharge book, and I got off, or we changed articles on the 28th of April,
So
Well-
you were there as well, yeah.
You
74.
were there. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
joined
signed on in Sydney on the 9th of February 74. Then we changed articles in Southampton on the 28th of April and signed back on the 29th, and then changed articles again on the 2nd of August 74.
yeah, because I think the Canberra had just come back when I joined it. I think she'd just come back from the World Cruise.
Yeah, had a long layover,
Yeah,
had a long refit because it transferred from first
Yeah.
to tourist class to just one class
yeah, because I was in
at
that
that time.
aft restaurant, that horrible aft restaurant. Honest to God, guys, I absolutely hated it. The 14 days I had on it, it was purgatory for me.
Yeah.
I was a winger in the restaurant, and
I was quite happy. I was a cabin steward up on A.
oh man, I'm not kidding you. 14 days, and I was. He was lucky he was coming back to Southampton because I signed off. But then I thought to myself, Bob, you can't give it a go. And then things turned out a little bit better when I joined Arcadia. I had 2 weeks at home, and the good thing I was on full pay and on standby. But it's funny, I was mainly from the pool. I wasn't contract with P&O, but I seemed to just re-sign on with P&O. And I always remember 2 weeks of being paid, and a small town in Warwickshire, and I was down the pub every night, and it was fantastic. but I must admit, I hate it. I had the only saving grace for me, my passengers. I had 8. I had a 4 and 2 juices, and the passengers were from Blackpool, the Blackpool landladies, and they were lovely. But the first experience was like, into the fire, like during the break in the first sitting. I managed to do first sitting, come back, and my tables were stripped. The go-go's and everyone on the next section had taken all my stuff. And I went up to the head waiter. Well, I'm sure you all experienced. I went to the head waiter and said, mate, I didn't say mate. I said, excuse me, sir. I said, I've got a little bit of a problem here. I've got no cutlery. I put it on the table. And he said, son, you just want to be careful. And just he walked away, and then I just had to go out and sort it out myself. And I just got set with about 4 minutes to spare. Oh, man, I hated it. But anyway.
My first trip as a winger was in the Chusan tourist restaurant. The 2 sittings of 15.
15? Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a bit chaotic.
Oh, I couldn't do 15.
And I was a bellboy one day and the tourist winger the next. And I didn't last in there. I didn't even finish the cruise, I don't think.
I tell you what, I reckon that the restaurant was the hardest job. I was so pleased when I went cinema attendant and then straight as PRS. If I'd have been a winger, I wouldn't have lasted. I would have chucked the whole thing up completely if I'd have continued on. Yeah. Anyway, see how things turn out, isn't it? Yeah.
And then you never met the colonel.
Yeah, that's right. I would have never met the invincible colonel in the O-Bar. I tell you what, the Oriana was one of my favourite ships.
Great ship.
It'd be interesting to see how many more were on the Canberra on that date, because I know that Ollie, Taffy, Dave Inge, Bob Wormsley.
What when you talking about on Canberra, Scotty?
74.
18.
Oh no, I was on Oriana 74. I went to Canberra 75.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I did the cruises that year. And then we did the world voyage 75, something else in between, and then the world voyage again in 76.
I joined Canberra June 75.
Yeah.
And
I just
I've got
2 weeks.
I can't remember where we went. That's
and I got off in I was on there for a long time. I was on there till 78.
Wow, you were there a long time.
I spent 17 years of my sea career on Canberra.
Then I went to Sea Princess. But Oriana was my first ship in 74. And I left there in Southampton in May 75.
I was just looking for my discharge book. Don't know where it is.
There we go.
Come on, Colonel. Colonel, what's the update on the penalties?
I've got 6
Bryden
all.
just missed one. No, Bryden just missed one.
Yeah, but what's the score? What?
7.
United are through.
7-6.
Right.
Oh, it was way off.
Skied it. So I joined Oriana in October 73, the last cruise before we went out to Aussie. And we had that stop in Alexandria, and we had to hightail it out of there because of they were dropping depth charges in the harbour because of the Yom Kippur War.
Yeah. You were on Oriana, Chris, when I joined it in February '74 in Sydney.
Yeah.
And
if Bobo's looking at 74, this time of year, April, what is it, 23rd?
Yeah, 23rd.
We would have left Sydney on our way homeward bound, I think, by then, right?
Yeah, because every April she left.
Yeah, we left early April, I think, so we'd be
about the 4th or 5th of April. Yeah. Because I finished in 78 on Oriana. I did finish
because
I flew home in April.
I don't know if it was 74, 75. It was one year coming back from Sydney. We were in Fiji, and then we crossed the date line on my birthday. So I actually had 2 birthdays.
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so I'm really a year old. Really a year older than I say I am, yeah.
Eddie, how long did you stay at sea?
I'm still at sea.
You're still at sea?
Yeah, working for Calmac.
Wow.
Okay. Is that a
Exeter Ferries, yeah, they do all the West
Ferry
Coast of
company.
Scotland. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ray. Sorry, Eddie. Dave, it's been the Bobo's show up until now.
Well,
Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
let it
I've got a bollock
continue.
in, man.
Let it
And guys,
continue.
listen, I've got to go. Good to see you all. I'll chat to you next week.
Fruity,
Okay,
lovely
Dave.
seeing you.
Thank
Brilliant,
you, Fruity.
lovely.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
you,
Dave, have
David.
a good week.
But David, we have chatted. So
Oh, good. All right, lovely. Yeah,
haven't we? All right.
we have.
Cheers, guys. See you all soon. Bye.
Cheers.
Right,
Bye.
right.
Bye.
I was only
Dave.
joking, Barbo.
No, that's okay. No, that's fine.
Dave, I seen the Hebridean Princess 2 weeks ago in Glasgow.
Did you, Eddie?
Yeah, she was in the KG5 dock. I was thinking something wrong with her engines.
Oh, right. Okay, something technical, but she's back off
Yeah.
there now,
Because
yeah?
we were- the Klansman hits engine's been out of commission for 2 months. Our engines broke down. So we had the two of them like lame ducks sitting in KG5 in Glasgow.
Say no more, say no more. Yeah, I think she's back up because I did look the other day and she
Yeah,
was
she disappeared
wherever.
again. So
Yeah. Well, it's lovely to see everybody's faces. Zachary, welcome back home to home.
Thank you. Sorry, my extended absence. I'm very glad to be back on the call again.
Well, it's very nice to see you. And Bobo, are you in those snowy valleys?
Yes, I'm in the snowy valleys, and that picture at the back of me is in the snowy valleys of Alaska. Yeah.
Same.
Yes, I'm in the valley.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. And Chris, as in Johnston, I did have.
Yep.
I saw yesterday Christine Sargent or Christine Pemberton, and we looked through some photos, and it was in that era when, well, obviously when you were taking loads of photos for us, and we were all up there in the Starlight Lounge, and you were there, and Christine and everybody.
Propping the bar up with my camera, right?
Well, it was, there was a job for the camera, something you had to do,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. Is that Blackpool Bob?
Morning.
How are you feeling now?
I like a bag of shite.
Do you know what? I looked at you and I thought, what does it remind me of?
Yeah, I've still got a bad chest. 6 weeks now, ongoing. Yeah.
Are you still jet lagged too?
No, jet lag's off now.
All right.
You could use that as an excuse, Bob.
Yeah, right.
Where's he gone now?
Quick drag
He's got
change.
all these frogs lined up behind him, mate.
Yeah.
The drag, I'm just going to bring the drag in with me. It's when I was on last time, we had Alan, as in, and she's always doing her report from her bedroom. Seriously, well, her wife's bedroom, I think, and it's always got the drag behind him. So I thought I had it up there last week just to make him feel more at home. And this is actually a live photo. Well, not a live photo. It's a photo from Lymington Market, and that was all the drag for sale one day, and I took it as a backdrop.
I thought you were in Pat's walking
Yeah, you can tell
closet.
us anything, Dave. We don't believe you.
What was that, Bob?
Heard it all before.
I said, you can tell us your stories, but we don't believe you.
We know
We know the truth. Yeah.
Cheers for that. Thanks a lot. Right, bear with me. I'm just recharging. P.S. Have I been bollocked by Colonel yet?
No.
No, what you don't know, Dave, is that I may be in trouble because Chris Johnson's too cheap to get ESPN. So I live broadcast the entire penalty shootout, which would get me arrested, I expect, but hopefully not.
Was that a special request from Fruity?
Well,
That's why he's not here anymore. That's why he said goodbye.
Oh, bloody hell.
He actually played a joke on people saying that we missed a penalty and we hadn't, so it's all good. Yeah.
Oh, even better. Even better. So,
So
good.
the best team in Manchester will win anyway.
oh yeah. Everyone in Manchester will be happy on the cup final somewhere
They've
along.
all got to travel from there to London. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, of course.
In fact, Eddie, I'll be in Kirkwell on Cup Final day.
Oh, you're going to Kirkwall, are you?
Well, we're on a 4-week Norwegian cruise. It goes there, yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. Have you been there before?
No, never in my life. No, put your
Brilliant
stuff on,
place,
guys.
Kirkwall and Stromness. Dave will be able to bring you up to speed in all the places there. Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Look,
Taffy.
Colonel, I can't find the Taffy app, but
Jesus.
That's all I can find at the moment.
At least
bloody hell,
Bobo's got his
Bobo.
now.
Yeah, I just found it.
Yeah, you found. Oh, hang on, look, Taffy's got his on. I don't know where mine is.
Well, we'll be looking pretty posh with our when we get our Wrexham caps, John.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
we
you
will.
go.
Yeah.
The badge looks brilliant. I just had a look online. They want 50 quid for the one that Reynolds is wearing. That particular style. Yeah, we'll go for the 9.99 one.
Okay, Taffy. Right. I'll pay you when I see you.
No, it's on the house.
Yeah. Colonel does this, you see, because he's in a. There you are. Sorry, Taffy. Better. Hey, that's quite a good turnout for the Tap Cats this week.
Record numbers, yeah.
That's a record.
Number of hats.
Yeah, six.
Yeah,
Six of you.
That is excellent.
I tell you a big surprise I've had this weekend. Well, I noticed it, but it's been reaffirmed this weekend that I was never able to get the BBC, Pete, overseas.
Right.
I was never able to get the BBC overseas. I got everything else, Netflix and Sky, but you couldn't get But now I can get all the BBC stuff. I just watched that game. Yesterday I watched rugby all day yesterday off different channels on the BBC.
But whereabouts are you, Taffy?
I'm I'm near just west of Lyon. I'm
Okay.
going across now. I'm going northeast towards the Atlantic coast, La Rochelle, and I'm going to go up the Atlantic coast.
I'll just put you in. I'll put you in just basically Froggy Land, okay?
Yeah, Froggy. Yeah.
All right, Johnny. Right, now, Gizzy, good to see you.
Well, yes.
Oh,
hey, Gizzy.
Apologies for my absence
Hello,
last
Gizzy.
few weeks. I've had quite a bit on some days.
Yeah.
And my company is literally just left.
Look who's here.
Oh, hang on. We've got Gizzy there, and we've also got Blackpool Bob's mother of the puppies.
There she is.
Yeah.
Well, she's looking good. Oh, hang on. Don't get them too close, Bob. You know what happened last time?
No, she's been done. We've had her seen to now. She's all right.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
you've had her seen to or him?
No, her. Yeah.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's all right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, are you still in Australia or are you back?
No, I'm back, mate, now.
You're back, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Good trip.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
As always. Yeah.
We enjoyed the reports like we
Yes,
did.
we did.
Yeah. Very, very good. So, question for Gizzy. Obviously, I mean, you've been off up north to rock concerts and I don't know what. So where have you been?
Well, a couple of 3 weeks back, I was in Edinburgh. I went to a very good pal of mine who used to work for me behind the bar, died at quite a young age, and he was living in Edinburgh. So I went up to sort of a little sort of farewell, if you like, about a couple of weeks after he was buried with his Scots lads. We were out at sunny Grimsby the week after. The week after, a place called Laceby. And last couple of weeks I've had company, that's all. And my company's literally just gone.
Fantastic. But we've all heard of Grimsby, but I think most of us have managed to keep away from it. What's it like?
Keep away from it.
Keep away.
That's that.
What smells like a heart of gold?
Actually, we stayed in a little village called Laceby, which was about 3 or 4 miles outside of Grimsby, which was actually quite nice. But
Yeah.
Grimsby itself is, I don't know, it's a cross between, I don't know.
Hell.
No, don't. We don't want to knock Grimsby. It's just that it's just got that sort of, you know, that history. But, no,
It's the only place I've ever been, Dave, with more shops boarded up than Leicester.
I spent a few days at Immingham.
The fish and chips are great up there.
I
tell you what, Taff, we couldn't find a fish and chip shop in Grimsby. We had to go to Cleveland.
Bloody hell. That was a great fish and chips we had at your pub that day.
Yeah, they weren't bad, they?
Yeah.
They still come around, they do,
that was
on
great.
Tuesday.
Main thing is, Gizzo, Gizzy, did you find a good pub?
Not in Grimsby.
Not in Grimsby.
I'll say one thing, actually. There did seem to be plenty of pubs still open, which is unusual for town centres. I think the only place we got to was Wetherspoons for breakfast on the morning we came back. Because where we we're actually in the middle of nowhere. The nearest pub was about 5 miles away. So we just had a couple in the hotel bar for a couple of nights we were there.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, it's nice to see you in the bar, but we've sort of been thinking of you and where you know, I know you've sent messages to say where you've been, but
yeah, just around and about, you know.
Yeah. Well, no, that's good.
It's just about the last 5 or 6 Sundays. I've seemed to have something on all the time. You know, I went to a 50th birthday bash a couple of weeks back. That was an all weekend job, and then had company, and then we were in Edinburgh, then I was in Grimsby, and then last week I got company again, and tonight they've literally just left, so haven't been to the pub on a Sunday for about 5 weeks.
What's it like going to a 50th? Because I can't remember the last one I went to.
Well, about 2 in the morning, I couldn't remember either. Well, we got a lot coming up this week, actually, because it's my big bash this week. So I'm going, my son's taking me out on Friday. I'm going to see Brit Floyd. My son's taking me out Thursday, seeing Brit Floyd Friday. Got a bash down the pub Saturday, and the kids have organised Sunday dinner down the pub on Sunday. So it looks like we're in for another.
What's this, 21 again, Jim, are you?
Pardon?
21 again.
Yeah, for about the 4th time.
Right, now, Gizzy, I've just put up the annual birthday card behind me because I know they're all happening. I know Steve was just the 20th.
That's right. Pat's is the 26th, isn't it?
Pat's is the 26th, but what about you and Caveman? Where do you fall?
Yours 29th, isn't it, Trim?
Mine's the 27th.
Your day after, Pat. Okay.
That's right.
And what about Caveman?
Is Caveman the 25th or the 30th? He's about, I'm not sure, day before the day after.
Caveman is on Monday, tomorrow.
So
right, okay. So what's that? The
24th. Right. So anyway, I'll put it up now because otherwise, you know, next week will be too late for everybody.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if you remember, Dave. I know you certainly did. You came to my 40th all those years ago.
Yes, I do remember that.
Well, I'm having my bash in the same place,
the
70th, and I was going to invite all the lads up. But the problem is when you came 30 years ago, we had 3 bed and breakfasts in the village, and we haven't got any at all now. And I've got company, and the other half's got company. And if you want to come, you're welcome, but we've got nowhere to put you up. Although somebody has offered their extension if you want to sleep on the floor.
And it's the 27th, is it?
Yeah, no, my bash is the 29th.
The 29th.
Which is Saturday.
We're going off tangent now. Sorry, we'll be up in London for a wedding. But
and just one other thing, I did notice on your Facebook, Chrissy Sargent, sorry, what's her married name?
Yeah. Pemberton now, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I go remember as Chrissy Sargent. Yeah, I used to get on well with Chrissy. Yeah.
Yeah. Did many of you sail with her? I know, obviously, Colonel did, and Pete, you did, which was lovely.
I sailed with on
Zachary,
the
you
Son of
remember?
Royal, I think, and the Sea Princess she was on, I think, as well. wasn't she?
Well, I can't. The name sounds
It
sort of
was on the
familiar,
Sea
but I
Princess,
actually can't
Jim.
picture her.
Yeah, I thought
Was
so.
she
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the
So
Sun
I sailed
Princess?
with on 3 ships.
She was on the Sun, yeah.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
on
the Son of the Royal and Sea Princess was over there. Yeah,
Was
good
she
girl.
a
I like
PRF?
Susan. I like Chrissy. Good girl.
Lovely.
Was
Well,
she a PRF?
hopefully, and we're not going to, believe it or not, we're not going to see Ollie on here tonight. I rang Ollie yesterday because Chrissy is going to go and visit a friend down in Worthing on Tuesday, and she's then going off to Spain, and then she's going all over the place. She won't be really back, but she's going to meet. We rang Ollie, and she's going to meet up with Ollie on Tuesday. So
great.
that'll be good. That'll be good.
Mm.
Hopefully, I'll speak to Ollie, make sure he gets a photo or two. But believe it or not, I said, Ollie, we'll see you tomorrow, as in tonight, because it's Crew Bar. He said, Dave, he said, my laptop's in for repair. He's only just flipping at it.
That's probably why it's in for repair.
Who's Tony? Is that a female?
No.
Hang on. It's
Tony Marshall.
Tony.
Okay.
Tony Marshall.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Hello.
Tony, as we would remember you as Rex.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Rex, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rex, for coming in. And how's it over in Jersey?
It's wet. There you go. So, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're good.
Just put 10p in the meter, Rex, so we can see you.
Okay.
Yep.
There you go.
It's
All
in,
done.
it's in, Johnny. It's in.
Yeah.
Oh, flipping out.
So have I missed anything? I should have got in the other week. I got a daughter. I was speaking to Pete, I think, wasn't it, Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The daughter's going out to Australia.
Yeah, she's in Melbourne now.
Yeah.
I was trying to find someone that may be in Melbourne that can say hello to her.
So what is she over there traveling, or is she looking to stay longer, or?
Yeah, she's looking to get a job. She's staying. Oh, I forget the name of the place she's now. There's a bar that she's gone to meet a few friends, which is an Irish pub. But I've got it on my phone.
Right.
So while I'm
Okay.
chatting, I'll look on my phone.
Okay. And has she gone on her own, Rex, or has she gone with friends?
She's on her own at the moment. Her fella's going over with her, going out there in a few days' time, and she's staying with friends from Jersey, which are living there.
Right.
So, but she will be looking for work, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's probably best that she doesn't mention any of our names anyway.
No. I was thinking that.
But we all enjoyed Australia in our day anyway, didn't we?
Oh, I loved it there.
Yeah, lovely. Oh no, Bobo, I did see a message you wrote the other day, which was very thoughtful, because you said that July, not July, this time, I don't know how many years ago.
Yeah, we
49.
spoke about it earlier on.
It's the oven.
We talked to quite a few guys that were there when I was there. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I signed on the ship the same day.
Well, there 49 years ago, you see, Bobo. Some of us. No, we were far too young.
Time flies.
It does. Hey, but Gizzy, you haven't been asked. What were you doing then? Were you at sea 49 years ago? And where would
Probably. What year was that?
You were still on a run site, Jim. I just left.
74.
74.
Yeah, I'm still on a run, so probably Aussie cruising now, were we, Scotty?
Here comes bacon.
I
No,
joined.
they weren't raw the other day when I had roast vegetables.
What the heck is that?
I had the worst gas.
Whoa. Someone needs to.
Is that Colonel?
My infection. You know how bad you undereat?
Tiana.
Who's that? Is that Cindy, Colonel?
No, Dave, you're in charge of noise abatement. Find out who this is.
That's Alan Bacon.
It's been got nothing to do with me. I'm going to put the Alan Bacon backdrop back up when I find my drag.
Oh, you are.
Jimmy, I'd left Aronsay then, and I joined Canberra
Find out where she
the
is.
same day as Bobo, 49 years ago.
Scotty.
And I think Dave, I don't know whether you were on Canberra, and Ollie.
I was in 74. Yeah, at the end of July 74. I came on.
I came off run say 75 and then went to the PP for the maiden voyage.
That's it.
Yeah, I came off in about the January. I think I went out to the PP in about April, something like that.
So Alan Bacon, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Alan, good to see you.
Hi, Al. Good to see you, mate.
Can you see
Hello, Alan.
Izzy there?
Flemington.
I can, yeah, see him.
Just Flemington there.
Oh, flipping great.
It's my missus here. My missus has come in now.
Alan.
That's the noise is missing. Hello.
Hello.
My gosh.
She's telling me it's Flemington.
No, Kensington.
Kensington, somewhere in Melbourne.
Oh, okay. Right. Cheers, Rex. And what's your lovely lady called?
Helena.
I'm glad she reminded me. Yeah. Helena. Yeah. Sorry.
Was she a child bride, Rex?
No, actually, she's Portuguese. She is quite. Yeah, you're. How old are you? You're younger than me, ain't you? By a few years.
Tell that, Rex.
Rex,
59 years. Oh, you're 59. Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Marvelous.
I'm 67.
Don't blame me, Dave. Don't blame me.
We've got to blame somebody, Colonel. Now, Hilda, it's lovely to see you. Now,
Good to see you.
Good. No, you're all safe and sound at home now. But were you already here to ask what were you doing 49 years ago?
49 years ago. What year was that? You say?
74, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, Sun Princess.
Ah,
from 72, November 72. Joined it in the shipyard in Genoa.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I was there until.
London, yeah.
I think it was 80, 81, 82,
Wow.
82, because I was there 10 years about, yeah.
She was still the Spirit of London then, John, wasn't she?
The Spirit of London was, yes, it would have been, yeah. It changed, 75, I think it became Sun Princess.
No. Yes, you're right. Yeah, I think it was 75.
Yeah.
Got it.
I think P&O took over Princess Cruises 74, but we changed our name. I think it was 75.
Yeah, I think you're right, John. Yeah, I seem to remember reading about that in the old P&O.
Yeah, I remember that Spirit of London. Bloody hell.
So no, Bobo, as the prime anchorman, and thank you very much. Is there anyone on the screen that hasn't been asked where they were in 74? And if so, ask them.
Blackpool Bob, where were you?
I can tell you. Go on.
In April, I can't remember. I joined Aronsay later on in the year. A bit later on.
Ask him where he was in 1954, Barbo.
1954.
1954.
Yeah. Ask him.
In 74, Bob, you were on Canberra.
74, yeah. Was I?
Yeah.
Ask him in 54.
54.
54, I was there.
I was on the Ark in 74.
I was on my first trip.
You were on the first
trip in 54.
1954, I was on my first trip. An oil tanker.
That's fantastic. We love it. We love it, Bob. Love
Well,
it.
fantastic.
Yeah,
1 year old.
You were in the crow's nest, Bob. 74.
But Hilda,
Yeah.
when did you first go to sea?
1963.
Oh, God, you're you're a young chicken.
April. Yes, I was. I was only 20.
Were you young and pretty?
What do you mean? Was he young and pretty?
Weren't we all in those days?
No, sadly I wasn't young and pretty. I was just
young.
I can see myself.
Oh, blimey. Oh, Rex, do us a favour. Can you turn the light off, please? Only joking.
It's a candle.
How many have you got?
I can't reach it. So somebody got. I wasn't asked that question because I haven't been on much. But 74 was on the Ark, I think, with Pete. We were cruising out of somewhere, weren't we?
Alaska, wasn't it? San Francisco?
It was. Yeah, it was. It was up there.
Vancouver.
That was it, Vancouver. Yeah, we was cruising out of there, and then I left. They flew us back home, and then on January the 8th, my last cruise was the Canberra on a world cruise.
That's the one I was with you, Rex.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's when we were there together. I'll just welcome Steve Walker. Obviously, due to the result, he's decided to come into the crew bar, but it came down to the last penalty shootout.
Yeah.
But he can't hear us at the moment, so that's probably a blessing.
So we can say what we like about
Alan, two Alans. I'll ask Alan Bacon first. But where were you in '74, Alan?
I can't remember if I was on Oriana at an Aussie.
Right.
Princess.
Okay.
Not the
What, as PRS or
assistant. I think I was assistant barman then.
right?
With Rex Pretty in the stern.
Rex.
The stern, Rex,
Yeah.
That's a picture of me in 74, Dave, up behind me.
Oh, hang on. Johnny, move your head a bit.
Wow. And remember those shorts, Colonel?
I recognise those shots, Johnny.
He's still got them.
Yeah, they were there from 74, 75, 76.
You still fit into them, Colonel.
I think I was a fine specimen in those days.
Yeah.
Own a carts, dear.
I'll change it quickly. I'll change it. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
So, Johnny, were
There
all those badges that were sewn on those shorts, were they all ones that you got awarded when you were in the Boy Scouts?
Yeah.
All I know is that the Goanese guy, the tailor guy, he loved me, and I was so sad when they got nicked, when I had all my stuff nicked in Reno. Yeah.
Oh, no. We're sorry we mentioned.
Hello?
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Hello.
Come on, Steve. Hello, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Steve.
Hello, boys. That was hard work.
Yes. Yeah. So he's just got back from the pub via Wembley.
No, he's still in the pub. He's still in the pub.
Still in the pub.
Still in the pub.
Told you.
God,
That was bloody hard work, mate.
yes, it was. It was. But anyway, don't spoil the evening, Steve. You know, it's all is good. All is good.
I'll leave you to it. I just thought I'd let you know I'm still around.
Good boy.
Okay,
Enjoy the rest of your little chat. I'll speak to you later.
Oh, all right. Okay.
You're going now after all that hard work.
Cheers, boys.
The pub calls.
Yeah. No, that's all right.
You're still there, Steve. Oh, there he goes.
So it's going to be an all Manchester final then, huh?
Oh,
Yeah. The best team in Manchester will win.
Yeah. All Manchester.
Well, it's not all Manchester, is it? Only one Manchester team, the other one's Salford. Well, I don't know how to flipping get out of here now. I can't get out.
I'll get you out. I'll remove you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, blimey, that's a bit heavy.
You're ruthless, dear.
That'd have been naughty. He was having a laugh here.
You're bloody harsh.
Well, he couldn't find the button to say goodbye, so I did it for him.
Right, now question for
He's on me telly now.
Scotty. What does it say? What year that particular one of the Canberra is behind you?
74.
74. Got it.
Yeah.
Right. They were very clever doing that, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a few hanging. When I first came home off the ship, I was at home with my mum and dad and my sister, and I had one named for each of them. So on all the bedroom doors, one of these was hanging. You know, one was with my mum and dad's, and one was my sister's, and I think I had one put up as well on my doors. Where were yours hung when you first bought them?
Don't be personal.
Same place as they are now.
Mine were hanging in my mother and father's conservatory.
Oh, bloody hell.
I've rescued them and put them in mine now.
Did everybody get one of these off the ships? Anyone not?
Yeah, I know. I had quite a few actually, and but I got rid of them a few years ago. Unfortunately, I wish I hadn't have done now.
Yeah, you only used to seem to get them on the P&O ships, didn't you? Because
that's right. Yeah,
the Lascars used to do them, didn't they?
Yeah.
You didn't get many on the O boats.
Okay. Was it just on the P&O?
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
got
I
one
think
from
so.
Island Princess. I've got mine's from Island Princess.
Yeah. There were Lascars on there, weren't there? Pakistani crew on there.
Yeah.
Which is who used to make them, but they're all UK deckhands on the O boats, weren't they?
Did Oriana not do one of those then, boys?
Yeah, Oriana did. Yeah.
Aronso did.
Aronso did. Yeah.
Is it what we on about? Them round things.
The Blythe
Yeah,
boys.
the wooden life boys.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got two. I'll put them on the page. I've got the Ark and I've got the Canberra.
Right.
I've got a couple of the small quoits that had the intricate rope work in the middle.
Yeah.
Which are very nice on the Oriana.
Very good.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice ones,
I've got a whole collection of those. I think I got one from each ship I went on.
Yeah, they're nice.
And what about the ties? Did you buy any of the ship ties?
I've got about 4, I think.
I didn't get any ties.
Yeah,
I've got Oriana, Canberra, I think World Princess, Sea Princess.
Yeah.
I got a QE2 one that somebody gave me.
I think. P&O one somewhere that I acquired.
The Canberra was quite a nice one. I think it had a little motif of Australia, but with a sea, I think, as well on it as well. So, are they ties that are hanging up behind you, Alan Bacon, or is it still the same old drag?
No, it's on my rocks there.
That's the Omi's rocks.
That's got quite a good collection.
We nicked the bell off the Union Castle in South Africa, but like that was a bit. We took it down, and then we left it. Then we went back, but that was the Orsover. Then, and anyone off the Orsover?
Well, Steve Walker, funnily enough, who's just gone back off again.
Yeah, Steve was on Orsover, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
I was on the October, but a long time before that.
Really?
Yeah.
I was 72, I think it was, or so.
1955, I was on the Orsover.
Was it there then? Was it?
It was long. Its first trip was in 54. I was at sea
It
school.
must have been brand new then, Bob.
I was at sea school when she went out on the maiden voyage.
Oh, right, great.
Oh, past the sea school? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember John Quillam?
Yes.
I do. I keep in touch with him, Ray. I keep in touch with John Quillam. Because I was working in Shetland for 25 years on the ferries, and Used to see John. He used to live right across from the boat, so I used to catch up with John quite a lot.
Is he still around?
Yeah, he's still around.
Where's he live,
Oh,
Eddie?
okay.
He lives in Lerwick. Have
Hey.
any of you ever been in Lerwick, where the ferry terminal is? He's just right across the
I'm
road
going to
from it.
be. I'm going to be there, Eddie, on that cruise.
Right, are you going into Lerwick? Do you know John Crillum?
Yeah. No,
All
I
right.
don't know him, but I'm going to be there. Yeah.
Yeah,
You could
he
say
lives
hello
just
to
right
him,
across
Johnny.
from the terminal.
Get him on the crew board, John.
Yeah, I'll give him a shout. I'll give him a call, see if he wants to join. Yeah.
I think he was on the Orsover and Orchides. I remember him talking about those ships.
What was he doing when you
I'm
were
there.
then, Ray?
I'm there on Sunday, June 4th in Lerwick. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's
cool.
nice up there. Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, that's where it all started with P&O, isn't it?
Yeah, for Anderson, yeah. They have the small building up there.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
right.
about 10 minutes walk out the town.
Mhm.
And there's you got the Arthur Anderson building where he was actually born.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yes, it was-
going it as like a
started
museum,
because
you can
he's-
go in and have a look. You could have a look at that, Colonel. It's not far from the
I
town.
will. I'll have to tell Mrs. Kling, who's in Italy right now, but even though she's got these shore excursions on, I'll say I need some time to go and see a couple of things.
Definitely. Yeah, no, it's good. It's where it all started from, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah, P&O from the beginning. So, Ray, where did you sail with John Quillam, and what was he doing with you on the ship?
That was we were on the Sun Princess.
What was he,
Yeah.
PRS or barman or?
He was PRS.
Mm-hmm.
We were both PRSs then.
What year was that, Ray?
Yeah. That would have been probably early 80s. Early 80s.
Early 80s. Well, I left there
He's a
82.
public room steward when I was there, Ray.
Yeah.
He's a public room steward in the Sun Princess when I was there. And when I joined the Canberra a few years later, John was a barman on the Canberra. And that's where he finished up. He was a barman.
Should be ready
in the late
now.
80s. He finished up in the Canberra.
Oh, he did. Yeah. We had a thing for going for lunch and getting pretty wasted. Nobody would. We had a bad reputation for going for lunch. Nobody would come with us, but we always managed to get back and get to work. But I had lots of memorable lunches with him.
Did you go on that trip with him when the Sun Princess was in Vancouver Island? Remember we had the fire in Los Angeles and we had to go to Vancouver Island for dry dock? And John Quillam got a boat, and it was John Quillam and Fraser, and there was three others. I can't remember if you were there. There was five of the bar staff. John took this boat and hired it for a week, and they all went away fishing and drinking on this boat for a week.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, you were there. Yeah.
Yeah, John was. We were in dry dock for about 2 or 3 weeks, and we all had like 3 days off. And he come back to the ship one day, and he said, we can rent this boat." And we were like, "What do you mean?" And he literally had seen a notice in a restaurant on the pin board outside where you could rent this boat. And we didn't think it was going to be a very big boat. And he phoned the guy up, and we went out there. There were 4 of us, I think. And it was like a 6-berth cabin cruiser with a flying bridge, and the whole thing was huge. And it was in a boathouse as well. And I couldn't believe the guy was going to let us take it, but he did. And we just navigated by sight and used maps. It was actually one of my first introductions to Canada. And we took that boat for 3 days, and we had a great time. And we didn't damage it. One of the funniest things was we just anchored off a beach one night, and Fraser took the little dinghy, and he went rowing off, and it was a beautiful sunset, and he sort of, the sea was calm, and he rowed around the point. And the next minute he came rowing back like he was in a speedboat. He was rowing so fast, and a whale had surfaced next to the dinghy.
We need to get
completely-
Fraser back in, Dave.
Yeah, yes.
Completely broken.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be great. That'd be lovely. That would be lovely, Johnny.
Well, you're in charge of that. You got him in last time.
I did. In fact, we talked about Fraser yesterday with Christine, because we were showing her some photos, and we were showing photos of the different weddings that had taken place, obviously, with the crew from the ship. So there was obviously on one page of my album, I've got a picture, obviously, with Pat and myself. There was Gizzy, with your wedding. There was the Schoolie Halls. I didn't go to Schoolie Halls, Dave Halls, but I've got a picture of Dave and his wife. But there was another picture with Fraser and his wife, Jill, at their wedding. And at their wedding, you had Caveman came over from America for the wedding, along with Big Tall Jim, the casino guy. He came over this is for Fraser's wedding. Also, Pete, who is it with John Trembling? John Trembling, he came up for the wedding. Anyway, we carried on. I said to Christine, I said, well, look, she said, oh, there's Fraser. I said, well, Fraser's still got a good head of hair. He's got a good bushy beard, but it's as white as you can ever imagine, you know. And he was looking good, wasn't he? He was looking. When he came on.
You can send me the
forgot
pictures,
about that.
Dave.
That trip, Eddie, I forgot about that trip, and thank you for reminding me of it. John Quillam and I also went on a trip together, because some of you would know, I don't know if there's anybody on the call, but some of you invested in property. Like Des Grundy had bought a place down in, I think Peter
Pratt and
had
Terry
bought one as well.
Gibbons, the photographer, bought one too.
Javier.
Yeah, in Alicante.
Javier.
Yeah.
My
And so
wife and I
John-
went out there and stayed out there, and Des fixed us up with a nice villa to stay in out there when we were out there. And that was in '79. Great out there.
John had trouble with John rented it out, and he had trouble with his renters, and remotely he got them evicted, and then they went back in and destroyed the place. They tore all the plumbing out, broke out all the fixtures, smashed all the windows. And so he had told me about this, and he was going to take a trip down there to get it sorted out. And in the end, it was John, Guy Paget, and John Parsons and myself were all going to go on this sort of 2-week trip driving down through France. And I don't know if any of you remember John Parsons, but
I remember. Used to play the piano. Used to play the piano.
That's right. He was a really good musician, and he wrote songs and things like this. And we all met in London, but first of all, Guy never showed up, and he was going to arrange a dinner for us at the Complete Angler, which is a famous restaurant in London. Well, that's another story in itself. That never happened. But then we were staying at a hotel near the airport, and then the next day, John Parsons had a Triumph. We were going to rent a car when we got to Dover, but we drove down. John and I drove down in this Triumph, and then we rented a car. And when we got to the ferry, John didn't have his passport, and so they wouldn't let him go. So we ended up going with myself and Guy Paget and John. And when we got to Paris, we were halfway through the middle of Paris, and Guy suddenly says to us, "What day is it today?" And we're like, "Well, whatever day it was, I don't remember." And he goes, "Oh shit, I've got a really important doctor's appointment tomorrow." And we ended up having to pull over the side of the road let him out in the middle of Paris. And before he walked away, I was like, how are you going to get back? And he goes, oh, I don't know, I'll figure it out. He didn't speak French. He started to walk away, and he goes, hang on a minute, I haven't got any money. And I actually lent him, I don't know, something like 200 or 300 quid right there on the spot, because he literally had no money. I never did see that money back, and I don't think I ever saw him again after that. We just left him in the middle of Paris, and John and I went on down and had a very interesting trip. So, and then I heard the guy ended up in jail or something.
And sadly, he's passed away. So you're not going to get that money back now, Ray.
Yeah. And what about John Parsons? Does anybody
Not unless you go to
remember
Air
him?
Hunters.
I've got to go, guys. I've got to shoot off. She wants me there to do the dishes.
Dave, did you just say that? Sorry.
I know.
Okay,
I'll be,
Rex.
I'll be in whenever I get a chance to come back in.
2 weeks' time will be the UK one, Rex. Another 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Okay.
All right.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be out for you.
All
Cheers.
right,
Bye.
Bye.
See you, Rex.
Have a
Cheers,
good
Rex.
rest.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.
Take care.
See ya. Bye.
Fantastic. Taffy, thanks for that great photo of Fraser. That's great photo.
Yeah.
Dave, did you just say that Guy Padgett passed away?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, when was that?
Must be a year ago, is it now, boys? Do you think?
Oh,
Yeah, just over a year ago, Dave, about 18 months now.
oh,
He was
shame.
in prison, wasn't he?
Yeah. No.
Funny story about Guy. My wife's from Birmingham. She was a stewardess on the Canberra, and we were doing visiting her family, and it must have been the early 90s. And her sister-in-law says to me, she was selling kitchens, and she says, there's a guy who works for me, used to work at sea, and he was at P&O. I said, what's his name? She says, Guy Padgett. I says, really? So I gave him a phone. And he came over and he picked me and my wife up, and we went to, he had this little restaurant in Birmingham, like a little 20-seat French bistro right across from the Hippodrome. And it was his restaurant, and he had it for a wee while. So we went in there with Guy, and that was the last time we ever seen him, because after that I'd heard he'd got nicked and stuff. But
if I recollect, didn't Guy Padgett, he played the piano as well, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I thought, I seem to remember on the camera doing a turn one night.
Guy was one of these people who was such a character, just really like wacky. He was right out.
Yeah, he was amazing. He was funny.
He was in the cabin next to me.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it when the sister-in-law says to me, there's a guy who worked at P&O. And who is it? It's Guy Padgett. I went, no way. So he came, got me and a wife. He was staying in Sutton Coldfield, and we picked us up, and he took us to this restaurant he had in Birmingham. Beautiful little restaurant it was as well. So quite smart.
I think he liked to bet on the races. He was always on about horse racing and stuff like that. And
it was a bit of a gambler, if I recollect.
Yeah.
But he was very talented guy, you know, not only with the piano, but I mean he had a real switched on mind, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did you sail with him, Alan? Well, both Alan. You did, Alan Taffy. Taffy, you did. How about Alan Bacon?
I stayed with John in Lerwick for a week.
That guy.
I flew up with Mick Denmead and his now wife Elaine, who was the senior AP.
Wow.
Senior deputy person, whatever she was then. And we
we've got that one. Cheers, Alan. Yeah, we've got it. Got that. Super. No, look, boys. Sadly, blinking at Colonel. I've just got mine. Mine's not so harsh as yours. All right. We have the traffic lights have had to discreetly be popped up. Mine's friendlier than yours. But no, Colonel. Obviously, we've not got Fruity on at the moment. But is there an Oscar tale coming up this week?
No, there's no Oscar tale, so we'll have to just be no Oscar tale. But what I've got you, Dave, can you send Rex a memo about muting himself when his missus is chatting?
Oh, that's great. It basically, boys, you know, that's my bollocking for the night. All right, you know that now. Yeah, I've had it.
Well, I didn't want to mute him because it's rude. It's rude, isn't it?
Well, he wouldn't have known. He wouldn't have known.
All right.
Oh, bloody hell. Hey, right.
All right.
So boys, as you all know, cheers, Alan and Taffy and everyone. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time, but don't forget, next week there is a Down Under at 9 o'clock in the morning. If any of you are up and about, and Sakri, you'd have to be really up and about for that one, but you're more than welcome. But it's good to see everybody. And
Jim,
yes,
Izzy,
Yes.
was that game? It's on a Sunday, isn't it?
No, Monday.
Oh, right, it's even better then. Yeah, I should be able to make that.
Yeah, Monday afternoon.
Because you in Southampton.
I should be there on the 19th and 19th, 20th, 18th.
19th.
And it's the 8th of May, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, okay. I should be all right.
Guys.
Yeah, just as a matter, has anybody decided where we're meeting in Southampton yet? Because I've heard the JB is closed.
Oh, I think it was mentioned we'd probably go to the flipping standing order. You know,
Yeah, but you have to remember, because you might have missed this. Brendan and Sherry are hosting a pour out in their cabin, which is a hotel room in the Novotel.
Okay.
Before we go to the pub.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
Gizzy,
really convenient.
just so you know, Gizzy, you've been invited by Colonel, not by Brendan and Sherry. Just remember.
No, it's not. I've got permission.
The Ibis is where the do is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I got
because we're staying.
Permission from Brendan to invite.
No,
we're staying in the Ibis. The Novo Hotel's where the do is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So did you say the Ibis?
Yeah.
No, Brendan's staying in the Novotel.
Right. Okay. Next door then.
Right. Yeah. Colonel, is there anyone else you want to invite?
And the
Colonel's Eddie, have you been invited?
Oh, I'm not get too far away from me.
The Colonel's invited us all for drinks in the bar of the Novotel.
Well, I was told by Brendan that it was a cabin pour out. That means all of us.
But
I mean, yeah, we're good.
Colonel will be in the main bar to invite everybody, and then the select will go up to Brendan and Sherry's.
That's it.
Have we got to bring our own booze, Colonel?
No. See, that's a really good question. No, we don't, because I've already spoken to Brendan. There's going to be beer and wine and chips and crackers. So no, you don't.
Okay, that's great.
And what day is this? The day of the lunch or the day before?
This is the 18th, the night before the do.
The night before.
Thursday. The Thursday before the
Thursday,
do.
Yeah, Thursday.
We'll be there about 3:30, 4 o'clock, I think.
Can I have it all
great.
in writing? Can I have it all in writing, please? Because my old mind doesn't register very well.
Without it being you won't be welcome anyway. It's a handwritten invitation, Bob.
Okay, listen, I gotta go, guys. So see ya.
I'm off.
All right, boys.
Bye. Great to see you. Great to see you, Eddie. Hope we get
We'll call you next time.
I'm really cool.
Good week.
Plank of wood on at the same time. Mr. Peter Story, this first event's the Egg and Spoon race, is it?
I believe it is. I'm just waiting for confirmation from Mr. Butcher, and we'll let you know as soon as possible.
And Peter, your job today is the official timer, is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, thanks Peter, and we'll see you a bit later on. This looks like the team from the galleys just arrived. The galley team, a bit late. There's Derek and Wally. Good afternoon there, Wally. And looks like very shortly we are going to get things going here. Stuart Buchart, good afternoon, sir. Stuart, the second chef there. And as I said earlier, the 1980 It's a Knockout is very cold here in Skagway, Alaska. Okay. Let's just walk through here. If Malcolm will follow me, we're going to see the officers' team here. Mr. Hannah, is this the turnout for the whole ship's company for the officers?
This is the condensed team.
The condensed team.
Oh, there's more on the way.
Here comes a couple more. Here we go. Tommy, Shaw, and Sean. We're just considering the small turnout from the officers' team here, Tommy, but you two have made it up. Anyway, it looks like the teams are getting themselves organised, and the Egg and Spoon race will soon be off for the opening of the 1980 It's a Knockout here on board the Sun Princess in sunny but cold Skagway, Alaska. Yes, there we have Mr. David Hinge, who is working in the Union Jack bar. I would have participated, but of course Channel 4 is here. Good afternoon there, David, and he's looking down with the binoculars. Okay, unfortunately we can't hear what Philip